The Stato today, the WK. I have shared a few photos of this on social media, and today we're just going to be taking it for a drive around the estate, and very little editing, just going to be giving it my pure thoughts, sort of just on the fly really. This is going to be sort of my thoughts about driving these cars, and I know it doesn't look very safe, but I promise you it is. So this is the Statesman that somebody has very kindly lent me, and as you can see, this particular one has 225,000 kilometers, but it is very tight in here. It's all original car. There is no modifications on this thing whatsoever, and obviously I can't have the radio on because it's on YouTube, but it does work. Everything works in here, aircon, but as you can see, the interior is very nice and clean. So what we're going to do is just take it just for a little drive. And what have we got? So you can't really rely on the numbers here because I've only just disconnected the battery early this morning, so we're going to ignore the average litres per 100. I was getting around 12 to 15, something like that, the other day. So I'll just pull to the side here. I absolutely, oh, it's an old Kinger. I hate these new estates. They are awful, but we'll get out of here and we'll go on the open road. And as you can probably tell, this thing is just so smooth and so quiet, and it is just, yeah, really makes me want to have an LS as a daily. But this car back in the day would have been really quite expensive. I've done a few TikToks on this car already, and this particular one, you know, is in such good condition. There's no dents, there's no scratches on it. It is a really good car, this, and well, I'm just yeah, it gets me excited driving the old LS1. I haven't actually driven one in quite some time, but now I don't know if I have to admit, the Statesmans aren't really my car. Even though I really enjoy driving this one and driving the LS1, it's not really my cup of tea, if I'm completely honest. I'd much prefer probably an SS from the same period, probably a purple VY SS, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I can still appreciate, even though it's not my thing, I can still appreciate how cool these cars are now. And you know, they don't seem very old, but this particular one is, yeah, 2003, so VY, so it's, you know, more than 20 years old now, and oh, it's got a very healthy LS1, this car. So the story of this particular car is that it went the owner, which is not me, has had this car for maybe 5 or 6 years, and it's just been sitting in a shed, getting started every once in a while, but it really hasn't been driven. So it's just been garaged, and this is the longest really that I've had it. The longest it's been driven is the last couple of days while I've been sort of road testing this thing, and it's not missed a beat. It drives dead smooth. There's no misfires. There is literally nothing wrong with this car. It's fantastic, and I've said in my videos on TikTok that my absolute favorite part of this car is the cream interior, because it's actually quite rare. It's pretty rare. I mean, these cars, a lot of these, they're either buggered or like this, and a lot of these cars were just used as parts cars and parted out, and it's just such a shame. So I'm really happy that this particular one has survived. It's really hard to convey how nice this thing is, but I mean, we're going 70 k's an hour now. You know, I can just briefly take my hands off the steering wheel. It's dead smooth, and like I said, everything works. All the cup holders work. I will be doing a full walk around. I might have already done it at this point, but I will be doing a full walk around video of this car. But it's got dual zone climate control, it's got cruise control, it's got heater, obviously aircon. It's got all of the fruit that any of these cars would have, and it's really exciting. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this car, and I'm going to have more newer cars like this on the channel, because it's, as much as I love Vienna VS's, I can only make so many videos about them, and I can understand that most people don't like them as much as me. So it's good to just have a variety of cars, especially, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what this is worth. really sort of rough ones from this era sort of start from maybe $5,000 to $6,000 with the LS1, up to maybe 15, 10 to 15. I'm just sort of going off a guess here, but yeah, I'd imagine that that's sort of what this car would be worth, especially being in such good condition. But like I said, I'll make some actual videos about this if I haven't already. It's a really good car, and not only that, but it smells new in here. Like, there's very light wear on the steering wheel. There's a little bit just there, but you know, on these cars they all start to peel. Here, what else do they do? It's got original wheels. It's got all of its Statesman gear, the cream suede under the dash. It's a really, really honest car. Obviously the stock head unit, and like I said, we'll go up to 100 k's an hour soon, and I might do a 0 to 100 or something. But again, it's a 0 to 100 is not really what this car's about, if I'm completely honest. It's more about just being comfy and being a cool cruiser, and that's exactly what this car is. But when you I mean, that wasn't even really foot flat to the floor. I mean, look, there is a little bit. So we're going 100 k's an hour now in a 20-year-old car, and really, honestly, you wouldn't know it. Like, it just yeah, like I said, if this was my car, I would lower it. I admit, I'd probably ruin that nice exhaust. Sorry, that nice ride exhaust, and probably some wheels. But that's probably where I'd leave it. And while the interior is in great nick, it probably just does need a bit of a wipe down, a bit of a vacuum, and that's about it. All of the things work. All of the cup holders work. I can't remember if I mentioned that before. I actually posted a TikTok just about this not that long ago, and apparently these are from Saab, which is something that I didn't know that. Yeah, not really sure where I'm going, but just thought that I'd just go somewhere where I can maybe get up to 100 k's. I think I can down here. But yeah, it's a really good car, this, and I really enjoy. This is probably one of the most that I've enjoyed borrowing, because it's really different than any car that I had. And it's just such a good engine, this thing. If you guys haven't daily driven an LS1, I have actually dailied one before, and it's quite hard to take control of your right foot. Like I said, this particular version of the LS1, like Statesman, again, it's not exactly my cup of tea. I'd probably, yeah, a purple VY SS is oh, there you go, low fuel. So I won't be doing a huge video anyway, so, oh god, that's gone quick. So again, we are averaging 17.5, but I haven't really driven that much, and I've been driving around town just because the battery's been disconnected. But yesterday I was driving it quite a bit, and I was getting around 13 litres. A bit of highway and that, so yeah, it's hope you guys enjoy these kind of videos. I'm going to be doing this with pretty much every car that comes across the channel that's registered and running, and I will be doing one with the wide VN as well, because it's just, this GoPro is really cool, and it just allows me to, well, you guys are seeing pretty much exactly what I'm seeing, and just a little bit of a raw experience. You'll probably notice that there is almost no editing in this video, and that's how I'm gonna be doing it, because it's a nice little drive around the countryside. It's such a nice day today as well. Yeah, it's but one thing that's I really like the VY Calais and Statesman cluster. Like, you can just, you know, you got your trip time and fuel used, distance to arrival, fuel remaining, and obviously none of that's really set up at the moment, although geez, that fuel's going pretty quick. All of the buttons are here, they all work. it's just a very nice place to be. And I really think as well, I made a video about it, this era is perfect for daily drivers, because this car has just the right balance of enough electronics that you don't have to, you know, you're not driving an old car. There's no choke, there's no carburetor. You've got all of the luxuries, with the one exception of Bluetooth. That's probably the only thing that I'd add to this car, but it's got dual zone climate control. I mean, and that's pretty easy to add actually. But it's got electric windows, it's got dual zone climate control, all of the fruit that you'd really need, and it's comfy as leather, electric seats. But it's not so much, but it's simple enough that you can fix it at home and you can do things to it yourself. And this is just the perfect era of daily driving cars. And like that Toyota in front of us, that just does nothing for me. I don't know. I'm sure it's a nice car, I'm sure it's reliable as anything, but I'd just much rather be driving this. And not only that, but they got a bit of personality. The cars are, I mean, every time you drop your right foot, we can go to 100 when I go left here, but it is downhill, so the 0 to 100 time is not going to be really genuine. So I'll just see what happens. But it is an LS1. I'm sure you guys are very familiar. These engines are extremely robust. They are, yeah, they're very, very, very good engines. Like I said, this one hasn't been driven in a few years, other than just the other day, and checked its oil and water and everything was good. Yeah, we're fine. So there is a hill here, but foot to the floor, and there's 100. So they're not slow, you know. This is a dead stock, dead original Statesman with 225,000 kilometers on it. So it's certainly got enough punch. I really like this thing. But again, it's not really my flavor, but I can still appreciate how rare these are, because a lot of these cars have just been bought to part out. So if you go on Marketplace, a lot of these are just cooked now, and it's actually, again, it's not a rare car really, but it's pretty hard to find them now in this kind of condition. Really, really cool. Just like it's got everything, sunglasses holder, dual zone. The radio, it's got the 6-stacker radio. Obviously I can't show you the radio because of the copyright, but yeah, it's a really nice place to be. Oh, the subs as well. The speakers in this thing are excellent. It's got the big subs on the parcel shelf. It's really, really good. But like, how nice and quiet is it? I don't know if it really translates through YouTube and that, but it's so nice and comfortable, and yeah, really up my alley, this thing. The one downside to this color interior though is if you ever need to replace any parts, it's really, really hard to find. You might have noticed there's a brand new old stock steering wheel just over there. Anyway, the story with this car, this isn't my car. I have just been loaned it by a very, very kind follower just to make some videos on, and he's got quite a collection, so there will be more cars coming, and he's very, very generously offered that, and there are more cars coming even outside of his collection. So if you guys are into newer cars, and which I certainly am, this is probably the newest car that I've actually featured on the channel now that I think about it, but there's definitely some older stuff too. So if you're into your VKs and Kingswoods and stuff, there's definitely some of those coming too. But yeah, I don't know what it is about cars from this era, they just do it for me. With dual zone climate control, and yeah, I really like this thing. if I didn't have quite the collection that I have currently, I'd probably be keen on buying this, because just one of those things, it's so hard to find good ones now. And the paint and panel on this car is excellent. Now this particular one is not for sale, however, you know, like anything, anyone with a collection, well, maybe not me, but this car, if he's given enough money, probably a fair bit above market, he'd probably sell it, but other than that, he won't. So it'll just go back and go back to the shed. And I can totally understand that, because it's, again, you're not going to buy one of these for 500 bucks anymore. Those days are well and truly gone. Although, not the WK this model, but back when I was a P-plater, used to be able to get these, the WH, the model before this, for like, honestly, the LS1 models for like 1,500 bucks, $1,000, and that was for like a decent one, which is just insane. But yeah, I'll probably drive. We're in Torquay. I might go here, left here. There's a Bunnings. But yeah, it is. I really do enjoy. Yeah, I'm so lucky that I've got the experience. Sorry, that I'm getting the chance to drive other people's stuff. It's really cool. And if you guys have any cars that you would like me to do, obviously I'm in Victoria, and I will pay you to use your car. I'm not a sponge, but it would have to be similar to this, you know, or have to be better than the cars that I own. I'm sure you can understand that. So, or something a little bit unique. So something a little bit different, something a little bit weird. There's a lot out there, so I think I've got about 7 or 8 on the go now. But yeah, it's a really exciting time for me and for the channel. And if you guys have any ideas, I'm thinking about doing one like this where I drive the PN in Melbourne traffic, because that'll be something, yeah, quite tricky and quite interesting, driving a big dirty V8 manual cammed thing in traffic. I'm also going to do one of these point of views on the white VN, if you guys like those. You seem to, because they get lots and lots of attention. I know I'm crazy, but you know, the Mercedes in front of me here, I'm sure it's a nice car, but I would pick the Statesman every day of the week over that thing. Well, and of course maybe the money in the bank, but the Euro cars, they just don't do it for me. I mean, do you reckon that Mercedes is going to be driving on the road in 20 years with 200,000 Ks on it? I don't think so. I just, and I get because it's the Statesman, but just the exhaust on this, I just think it's way too quiet. The whole point of having a V8 is that it's nice and noisy. I really don't rate the V6 versions of these either, if I'm completely honest. I don't mind the V6 engine in general, but the Statesmans and Caprices, yeah, they need the V8s. So really the only difference between the Statesman and the Caprice, I believe the Caprice has the screens in the back of the seats, which this one does not have. And there's just a few little minor things like that. Actually, I think that might even be it. I do like the Caprice, like, nomenclature on the back of the... That looks really good. Different wheels, but the car is 99% the same. And I tell you, this would be an expensive car back in the day, I reckon. Yeah, it's definitely addicting driving a V8, that's for sure. It's hard to be sensible. Oh, that's a nice cruiser. Troopy. I'd love one of them. If you guys don't know, I'm actually a carpenter, and so you might even see my head looking at the houses here. I've actually worked on quite a few of them around here, and I mean, I could never afford in a million years any of these houses. It's some of the most expensive real estate on the planet, but that's okay. It's still nice and sunny. The beach is just here. Should have gone there. As every tradie does. Obviously, I'm not going to point it out, but I've just driven past a few houses that I've replaced some tiles and done some posts and some fascia. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this kind of video, let me know. I'm also hoping to work with some other Aussie car YouTubers. That's also in the works. I can't give anything away, but they're much bigger fish than I am, so that's quite exciting. And yeah. All right, I might turn in just here if I can. Yep. So I'll go straight. Oh, I don't want to go on the dirt road. That was a mistake. All right, I might just end it there, guys. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any suggestions or anything else that you'd like to see, please feel free to let me know. If these are the kind of videos you like, as well as me actually working on these cars, please feel free to subscribe, like, and follow along with what I do here. There's going to be plenty more of this stuff, especially with our Australian cars. So thank you very much for watching.